सर को आप ऑडियो कनेक्शन देते हैं ना वृशाली मैडम?
दिया है मैम ऑलरेडी.
Yeah. Then you can start. You can start, Vishali.
Yes. He is just a minute. Yeah, sir is there now. He is a panelist also now. So we can start, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Okay. A very good evening to everyone and a warm welcome to our speaker of the day, Mr. V.S. Kumar sir. Honorable members of our management, Shikshan Prasarak Mandali, family members of Palekar sir, Principal Dr. Mrs. Shobhana Vasudevan ma'am, all the teaching and non-teaching staff of Podar College. I am Mrs. Vishali Kaneri from the Department of English. In Podar, no program begins without invoking the blessings of Lord Almighty. So let's listen to the prayer first.
जय शारदे. और माल बेचा अपन ने और उसमें कम ज्यादा हुआ तो सब देगा, तो फिक्स है. अगर अपन बोलते हैं कि हम 4.6 नहीं एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, हम 4 का भी एक्सेप्ट करेंगे.
There is no audio, Dhananjay.
ये जो प्रॉपर्टी अपन बेच रहे हैं कि इसका रियलाइजेशन 5 आ रहा है, 4 आ रहा है, 6 आ रहा है, इसमें भी प्लस माइनस होता है. जय शारदे वागीश्वरी, जय शारदे वागीश्वरी, विधि कन्यके विद्याधरी, वागीश्वरी वागीश्वरी, जय शारदे वागीश्वरी. ज्योत्स्ने परी कांती तुझी, ज्योत्स्ने परी कांती तुझी, मुखरम्य शारद चंद्रमा, ज्योत्स्ने परी कांती तुझी, मुखरम्य शारद चंद्रमा, उजळे तुझ्या हास्यातुनी, उजळे तुझ्या हास्यातुनी, चारी युगांची पौर्णिमा, तुझ्या कृपेचे चांदणे, तुझ्या कृपेचे चांदणे, नितवर्षु दे अमुच्या शिरी, नितवर्षु दे अमुच्या शिरी, वागीश्वरी, जय शारदे वागीश्वरी, विधि कन्यके विद्याधरी, वागीश्वरी वागीश्वरी, जय शारदे वागीश्वरी.
Thank you, Sanika, for this wonderful rendition. Our students have created a video which will share with you glimpses of the college with Podar Gate as a background.
इसके लिए तो मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ, whatever you feel better for me, you do it.
शिक्षा केंद्रों को हमेशा प्रोत्साहित ये करता है, शिक्षा केंद्रों को हमेशा प्रोत्साहित ये करता है। बम्बई शहर की शान है पोदार महाविद्यालय, महाराष्ट्र का भूषण है पोदार महाविद्यालय।
हाँ मैडम, हाँ
मंडली आगे बढ़ी, पूरी जिम्मेदारी लेकर किसी कार्य में मगन हुई। मंडली आगे बढ़ी, पूरी जिम्मेदारी लेकर कार्य में मगन हुई। आपके आशीष और सहकार की दिल में ख्वाहिश रखता है, आपके आशीष और सहकार की दिल में ख्वाहिश रखता है। इस महाविद्यालय का नाम सभी क्षेत्रों में अमर रहे, इस महाविद्यालय का नाम सभी क्षेत्रों में अमर रहे। बम्बई शहर की शान है पोदार महाविद्यालय, महाराष्ट्र का भूषण है पोदार महाविद्यालय, पोदार महाविद्यालय, पोदार महाविद्यालय, पोदार महाविद्यालय, पोदार महाविद्यालय।
Thank you. Kumar sir.
Hi.
Hello. I hope you enjoyed this video.
Very much. Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. Let me share with you all some information about this memorial lecture series. Principal Palekar sir started his journey in Podar College as in the college office in 1942. With the support and encouragement of his then teachers, he completed his graduation and post-graduation in commerce with first class. He then joined Podar as lecturer and went on to become principal and served the institute from 1963 to 1975. He started PhD Center in 1965 and guided 14 students. Later, he became a life member of Shikshan Prasarak Mandali. After a long association of 39 years with Podar, he retired in 1981. On his birth centenary celebration, many of his students and staff expressed a desire that Podar should do something every year on this day in the loving memory of Principal Palekar sir. Our principal, Dr. Mrs. Shobhana Vasudevan, recommended a lecture series which will be an excellent intellectual tribute to sir. With immense pleasure, let me welcome each one of you for the third lecture of Principal G.P. Palekar Memorial Lecture Series. Our student had prepared one video for Sir's birth centenary celebration. So let's have a look at it. Thanks to the team of student volunteers who have helped us in preparing these videos. Now, may I request Honorable Advocate Jain sir to guide us all?
Dignity. I hope I'm audible.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You are very much audible, sir.
Very much.
Dignitaries on the dais, Principal Shobna Madam, or Chief Guest, who is going to enlighten us on the point of education, and Dr. Palekar, this one, and all participants,
Huh?
his dear and near students, alumni of Podar. I was going through the song of Podar's and of late Principal G.P. Palekar. I'm proud of it that I'm heading the institute, and Podar is one of the colleges under this trust.
Yes. No, sir is speaking on the he is
The
speaking
value
on the meeting में बात
of
कर रहे हैं.
the contributions of the teachers, professors in upbuilding the society is concerned, everybody has, not only in Bharat but all over the world. So far as Professor Palekar is concerned, it's a remarkable. He's an ideal. He's an icon in education field, because the persons who joined as a clerk and who raised to the post of the principal, it is not by way of a charity to him that society has given, but it was him, his hard work, brevity in thoughts, and all other things are concerned, made him the great educator. I'm surprised that even though he himself was not PhD, 14 students have done PhD under him, and University of Bombay has accepted his authority and capacity to teach, guide the persons. So I myself feel it privileged that I am participating in this lecture series. Considering the present day of the educations and the thought process of the society, it is a need of the day that how the society will come out of the situations which at present is prevailing. I'm using this word with responsibility, because to think about education and society without self-interest is a rare commodity. And if Dr. Palekar has done, the legacy is now followed by Dr. Shobna and all her colleagues or faculties of the Podar. Shobna, I'm proud of it that you are continuing the legacy of Dr. Palekar and or other principals, Sau Raja and others are concerned. So there is a traditions that Podar is having everyone who are contributed to the society. The next part, all our friends will be happy to note that Podar is one of the colleges, not only autonomous granted by AICT UGC. UGC has granted autonomous, and one of the colleges which are getting largest number of the applications for admissions under the University of Bombay. Podar is giving educations not only with the curriculum of the university, but out of box with the interdisciplinary and on various subjects, which is needed by the industry and by the society. I am proud to say that the college has added and adding every year 10-20 new diploma courses and other courses, and they are always looking forward to face the challenge of changes at the national and international level. And therefore, I am giving my best wishes on these occasions to the principal and colleagues and all participants. I am sure that we will be benefited by this lecture series, and it will be a value additions to our knowledge to some extent to the students and to the society and to the nations. I hope that this kind of the lecture series in memory of all great educationists, because it should not be in isolations, it should not be by way of exceptions, but I won't mind Podar is required to take one lectures every week, not every day, on the memory of all great educationists. Shikshan Prasarak Mandali has always taken it a pride to respect the educationalists and those who have contributed to the society as a best educator. As you know it, Velinkar, Principal Velinkar is concerned, his name has been given to maintain his memory for the management school. Certainly, we want to preserve the memories of Principal Palekar and even others. So by this lecture series, certainly the society will always feel that yes, there are educators who are in the line of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, Abdul Kalam Azad, Ravindranath Tagore and others. And Podar is giving such kind of the alumni, not one or two. We can name it right from Sri Suktankarji and others. So the alumni are concerned, it's a list which will never be complete. So I welcome all participants and I hope that it will be a great event which will give us a value additions in the field of thought process in commerce, industry and business. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to be with you.
Sir, we should thank you for giving this beautiful opening note. Vrishali, you can continue.
Thank you very much, sir. We are really honored that you took out
I'm
time
just
from
having
your...
on my conference. So
Yes,
please
yes.
allow me. If
Yes.
required, I will join again.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank
sir.
you so much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring words. With the faculties, really feel honored that we are proud. We are part of this great institute where teachers like Palekar sir have set the legacy. Now I'll request our ever supporting principal, Dr. Mr. Shobhana Vasudevan, to address this August gathering.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure. And what else is left for me when Sir, our chairman, Managing Council, Shikshan Prasarak Mandali, has brought out so nicely the attachment that we have to great educators. Principal Palekar, as everybody knows, has been a motivating force and igniting spirit, and that has been reflected by all the students of his time or the colleagues of his time whenever an occasion comes to meet and converse. I, as a person currently holding the chair which these luminaries had once held, always feel the responsibility and the kind of spirit that has been set in motion by such great personalities. Of course, the times have changed, the technology has come in, the mindset of the students have changed. But as our chairman rightly said, the educators should remain as it is. It is the educators who can bring some changes. It is the educators who can bring the different thought process. It is the educators who can build a gap or bridge the gap between the sound value principles and most confused current generation of today. By identifying those who are able to voice out the values that need to be practiced, which is not so difficult to be practiced from the educators and teaching community, I think this is what the small kind of contribution Podar has taken on her stride. We need to understand from elders, as educators, as teachers, how can we make difference in the lives of people. Probably I won't take much of a time from the time that is being allotted to our welcomed alumni speaker, Mr. Kumar. But I just cannot arrest my temptation of how the college Vastu always comes into the picture. It's a incidence that I'm going to quote of my meeting with Mr. Satyan Nayak, who walked into the college today morning at around 9 o'clock, 9:30 around. Mr. Nayak, former president of UTI, stays in Worli, a pass out of 1968, used to take the stride almost every day, but today he decided to enter the college. And he came, and I could meet him. And what a kind of expression Sir has told about Mr. Palekar. When I told him, Sir, it is coincidence that you have come in, because we don't have that much of an alumni list where we can contact and share about today's program, although we have publicized in our RAPA group. Incidentally, we have got a RA Podar College Alumni Association registered as a Section 8 company. We have got a good level of WhatsApp group members. We have put it there. But you know, with the history and the number of students and luminaries, we definitely could not cover everyone. Here, the Vastu of Podar came in. Mr. Satyan Naik, when he walked in, and I just told him, sir, today at 5 o'clock you have to join. I can see Satyan sir join today. Thanks to the invitation and accepting at the shortest possible notice, I should say. But what Mr. Satyan Naik said is more appropriate to the chosen topic that is being suggested by one more ex-student, Mr. Kumar. Igniting curiosity and what exactly compassion means. The incident is about devaluation. 1966, where Indian rupee was devalued. And our dear Satyan Naik was a student at that particular point of time. And Mr. Satyan Naik wrote a wonderful, an essay on inflation and devaluation. Mr. Palekar, the then principal, appreciated him a lot, allowed that to compete in a particular essay competition, and he won the first prize. And he remembered, Mr. Naik, how the kind of support and curiosity of mine was supported and motivated, madam. He was such a different person. We had a chat of around half an hour or so, but I could get the personality, the gleam in the eyes of the ex-student. He retired in 2004. I don't want to reveal his age. I just say the retirement age. Ganit sarlo kar sakte. We can understand the age, but the gleam, the interest, the kind of perseverance and the enthusiasm, I think that is what made him and made by Mr. Palekar, which I can definitely say. Teachers can definitely make a great inroads, and with the small happenings like this, encouraging a person to submit an essay. And Mr. Satyan went on to say that he got the Principal Special Award in the next year, and he devoted it to the encouragement and the compassionate understanding of the young talent that he could identify in Mr. Satyan Naik. Many incidents that has been come on my way. I don't want to share it. Mr. Mohan, Mr. Mani, and many for the Palekar sir's students always used to remember Mr. Ramanujan, who was going to be the speaker in the earlier edition, always used to talk about sir, the simplicity, the commitment, and the perseverance, which was very clear from the family and his career graph from the clerk to the principal is nothing but an example of perseverance, example of commitment, and probably by paying the tribute to this great man, if Ian, you're going to get some 1% or 10% of the qualities, I think the education will reach greater heights. And whatever the national education policy wants, Mr. Palekar lived. We can see the clippings, the Film Association, the Art Association. The new education policy only wants that. Let the children do what they want. And it was done in 1966. What a foresight. It was implemented in 1969-70. What kind of vision? And that is education. That is the legacy Podar enjoys. Maybe on behalf of all my colleagues and all those, we can take a vow today that we will definitely sustain and get this spirit of true education to prevail in the Podar campus. Thank you, Vrishali, for inviting me and giving me to voice out few of my thoughts and let the show go on. Thank you and welcome to one and all.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your encouraging, motivating, and enthusiastic remarks. The speaker for the day is our own alumni, Shri V.S. Kumar sir. I consider myself really privileged for getting an opportunity to introduce our speaker of the day. Kumar sir completed his graduation in 1970 from Podar College, after which he joined IIM Ahmedabad for his postgraduate diploma. So he is a proud alumni of Podar College as well as IIM Ahmedabad. Sir is a cost accountant and a company secretary as well. Sir carries with him rich experience of more than 40 years in the industry. His experience is really diverse, covering the brick and mortar industry to the IT sector. He is also experienced as a financial analyst, where he functioned as manager and secretary at various levels and reached to the top as CFO. He has managed diverse activities like startup financing, reviving Sikh Company, setting up procedural controls, and managing multi-currency foreign loans. The highlight of his career was when he brought Kone Elevator India back to health after its equity had become negative. As he rightly mentioned during our interaction, during my interaction with him, that he has the experience of working in factory setup as well as in corporate setup. For Sir, teaching is passion, and he pursued it though he was busy with his career. Sir has taught finance, accounting, taxation, and governance at various institutions and professional colleges like SSN for MBA, Jain University, Institute of Directors, IIMM, Azim Premji University, Infosys, Accenture, Ford, Manipal Hospitals, and many more. Sir also has academic contribution where he developed and written content for textbooks for Manipal Global Academy and digitization of the subjects in the domain of finance and accounts. Sir has also developed process manuals in management control and financial accounting for large companies in India, Dubai, and Oman. He is also into training new hires at Deloitte Hyderabad in US GAAP and US Tax and has roughly trained 200 people. At present, Sir is a trustee of Sadhguru Shri Jnananand Seva Trust, which manages Swami Vivekanand Rural Community College, an NGO for school dropouts near Puducherry. He is also into mentoring Indian micro, small, and medium enterprises under the Walmart Vruddhi scheme. Sir also provides training and mentoring in business schools, corporates, etc. Along with teaching, Sir is also passionate about the English language and music as well. Sir will be sharing with us his thoughts on the topic, recognizing passion and igniting curiosity, the role of a teacher. Sir, we are really happy and honored to have you with us here today. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Respected Principal Shobana, ma'am, Shaliji, my dear and loved members of the Podar family and the extended family, a very warm welcome to everyone and a very good evening. I'll start with a little story. Sometime in early July 1969, Principal Palekar called me to his chambers. I was a student. When I entered, I saw 3 students already there. And in the next few minutes, 5 or 6 more joined. Palekar sir gave us all his usual radiant smile and said, boys, you all know the BCom results have come this year. Sydenham College has taken away the first rank and our students stood second. I would like us to reclaim the first position in the university next year. And so the honors is on you, one of you. Do you see the set of books on the table? There are 10 books on a variety of subjects that you will be handling in your final exam. These are epic treatises on the subjects, mind you. Each is a gem in itself. I'm asking our librarian to issue these 10 books to you on loan. You will pay a deposit, take the books, and return them after the exam. The deposit will be refunded to you. I picked you students based on your showing in Intercom and Junior BCom. No, those years we had 4 years of college. The second and third year used to be called by these names. I feel one of you will rise to the occasion, and I hope you will prove me right. Here is one more thing. To facilitate your unhindered studies, together or alone, I am giving you a key to each of you to a tutorial room. You can sit there without disturbance and work. Now, you can see that sir had not given a fairy speech about the college reputation or about the greatness of standing first in the university or anything even mildly melodramatic. Nothing like that. His tone was subdued, gentle as always. But the motivation levels of each of us as we stood up, thanked him and left was humongous. I paid the princely sum those days of 50 rupees or 55 rupees as deposit and took away the books. What began that day was what I still believe one of the finest phases of my life. In the next 10 months, I was almost reborn. Barring the Shramdan camp of Professor Bhatt, which I went to, and the intercollegiate cricket semi-final with Roparel, which I saw, and which we won incidentally, I did nothing except study. I read all those books as if they were storybooks. During the study holidays, I made schedules subject-wise and stuck to them and stood first. The fire in the belly that my principal had provided not only made that possible, but got me another unthinkable bonus, a seat at IIM Ahmedabad, competing with engineers from IITs and elsewhere. I want to tell you that Palekar sir's motivational expanse is not just limited to this illustration. Every single thing he did preached motivation to students. His business organization classes, for example, his prize schemes for students who excelled in exams and other things, his inclusive style of finding solutions to issues among groups with conflicting needs. We can go on and on and on. Principal Palekar created a sense of belonging in each Podarite, a feeling of pride. That, to me, is the pinnacle of achievement through motivation. I shared with you this personal example not only to showcase what a great motivator Palekar sir was, but give you an idea of how he made motivation successful, how he managed to achieve what he wanted through the motivation. Now, I must tell you a totally different experience of motivation that I tried to do and failed. A company I was working for, in which I headed the accounts way back in 1980s, was given by the managing director a very tight schedule for closing of books one financial year. Those were the days when finalization of accounts, even at the unit level, would take months, and then the audit closing would happen. So I called my team of some 25 people and gave them what I thought was an inspiring speech about guys and girls forgetting personal schedules, coming together to do a fine job of preparation of final accounts, etc. I pointed out to them how our department would win MD's favors and brownies. All that happened was 2 of the staff took leave for their cousins' weddings. 1 staff member got into a Coca-Cola drinking bet match and fell sick. The rest of the people worked at their usual speed. No one was even vaguely stirred by my passion. What went wrong? Now, one more story of motivation from my archives. And here I am winning. In the early days after my post-graduation, I was working in Bangalore. And I got a call from my Ahmedabad classmate. He asked me to accommodate his brother in my bachelor pad. I was a bachelor then, and this was in early 70s. Of course, I agreed. This rather stern-looking young man arrived very soon, and I accommodated him in my pad. I would involve him in everything I did. I would talk 19 to the dozen with him, as I found him an excellent listener. A couple of months into our association, we were having dinner one night, and he told me, "What I'm going to tell you will surely surprise you. I came to Bangalore with no attachment to life. I was seriously thinking of ending it all. But those first few days with you changed my entire outlook. I realized there is so much more to life. There is so much to life that it would be a pity not to try some of it at least." See, here I was, a successful motivator who probably averted a suicide. And I had not even known or sensed that my friend was disturbed, and still I could steer him out. What did I do here to make it happen? Very surprising. Gentlemen and ladies, welcome to the title of today's lecture: Recognizing Passion and Igniting Curiosity Through Motivation. In the next half hour or so, I will try to give you my perspectives on this rather esoteric and puzzling subject of motivation. I would like to do this with a graphical presentation of the theme of motivation. On the x-axis, we have the what of motivation. That is, what kind of motivation are we doing? And on the y-axis, we have the how of motivation, or how, the manner in which we are going to do the motivation. In the x-axis, which is what is it that we are doing by way of motivation, there are broadly 2 segments. I would like to specify 2 segments. One is motivating someone else, and the other is self-motivation. Likewise, on the y-axis, we will have 2 segments: the carrot and the stick. That is, motivating by positive measures and motivating with negative methods. First, let me take up the subject of motivating others, and then we'll come to the subject of self-motivation. We go through life needing to motivate someone or the other almost every day. The need can be a small thing like persuading the conductor to give you change, to a huge thing like convincing your father when you are studying or your daughter when you are a parent to do a particular course. Learning and mastering the art of motivation is therefore crucial for happiness in life. In my present engagement, for example, with Walmart Riddhi scheme, where I'm in constant touch with the medium and small entrepreneurs of India, the one thing I see all of them need, apart from financial knowledge, which many of them lack, is encouragement and motivation. Several factors come into play when you try to motivate someone. The chief ones among them are: 1, your equation with that person. 2, what is there in it for him and what is there in it for you. 3, your persuasive powers, or what we used to call the gift of the gab in those times. And last but not the least, the thing itself, the job that you're trying to get done through motivation. How difficult it is, what kind of side effects it has got, what kind of side features it has, and so on. Each of these factors either makes motivation easy or cumbersome. Let me start first with the last factor. I would like to state here as an axiom, an unchangeable constant. You're not going to like this, rigidity of mine, but I'm going to try it nevertheless. What you are trying to motivate someone to do should always be a positive, beneficial thing for everyone. The end result we wish to achieve should not be harmful or illegal or immoral. If it is any of these, it's not motivation, but it's called by a different name, motive, which is what we call for a crime. The greatest example of how goodness of the result provides a powerful impetus, again from my life, was the community college conceived and established by my school friend from Kalyan. We studied in school together in Kalyan. With almost 10 years of working life still left in the RBI, and with 3 sons who had still to complete education, this friend of mine had the audacity to take early retirement and start an NGO, a school for vocational training for dropout boys and girls, to give them a livelihood and to give them a life. His motivation was so strong, so compelling, that you know what he did? 1, he convinced his family to move out of Bombay and relocate to Chennai and later to Puducherry, where he had a piece of land which he dedicated to the project. 2, he learned the do's and don'ts of community education and the basics of running NGOs over 2 years in a variety of such organizations, including an ashram. 3, he meticulously drew up a memorandum of association for the trust and cherry-picked people who he wanted on the board. 4, this is a very interesting thing. He hunted me down. We had lost touch for almost 2 decades. He hunted me down and made sure that I joined the trust. I still remember the day in 2000 when, the NHB office was in above Akbar Ali's, and we were there when he met me after 20 years, and we hugged like almost like a Bollywood scene. 5, he raised the capital almost single-handedly. And over 15 years, he has given careers to over 4,000 youngsters who would otherwise have either become militants or wastrels. And 6, he built a magnificent network of corporates and people who would ensure that funds for the college and jobs for the graduates were never wanting. Every decision he has taken for the project taught me this important lesson, that when you have a great goal to achieve and are clear about what you want to do, you will get help, don't worry. He got constructed 2 magnificent state-of-the-art buildings in the face of opposition by some conservative members, trustees, in our board. They felt he was biting off too much. They were asking him, how are you going to find the money? He found the money. His concept was, why should these underprivileged boys and girls study in a dilapidated place? Why should they not get the best treatment? When I look back at the stupendous achievements of GVS, the man, and his project, Swami Vivekanand Rural Community College, I also realized that he knew exactly how to motivate all the stakeholders to do their best. Here is where we come to the next question. How? How do we motivate? How does one motivate people? One essential ingredient of motivational techniques is the never say die approach. I've realized this. You have to stick on and never give up. We call it mumukshutva in Sanskrit, or in Urdu we call it junoon. When you have this quality of persistence and determination in you, you automatically find ways to motivate. You can motivate people with rewards or threaten them with dire consequences if they do not perform. This is the celebrated study that we did in OB of theory X and theory Y, the subject of organizational behavior. In idiomatic English, we call it the carrot and the stick. It's either the carrot approach or the stick approach to get things done by people. Which is better? Is it the carrot or the stick? I would like to make a second statement now in answer to this conundrum, which for me is also an axiomatic truth. And that is, the approach you take of whether it is a carrot or the stick should not depend upon your position of strength or weakness, but upon the task or the job involved. I'll make this clear. Too often, we use the carrot when we are helpless and the stick when we are at an advantage. This, in my opinion, is incorrect. I learned this amazing truth from another great mentor with whom I worked for over 6 years in turning around Kone, the company which was sick, and as Rishaliji said, it had lost its equity completely, and nursing it back to health. His first and most crucial problem those days was getting supplies from a bunch of vendors who had huge amounts of overdue, and flatly told us, settle the full amount due and then we will start selling, otherwise no material for it. As the CFO of the company, I thought the only possible approach was to dangle the carrot or settling dues with them with the fresh influx of capital. We had got some fresh capital from Kone, Finland, and giving the money to them and then start renegotiating with them. Not my mentor. The managing director of the company was my mentor, but he preferred the stick approach. And here is what he did. Very interesting. He called all the vendors for a discussion and said, we are rebuilding this company, which is lying in ruins now. We need the materials because we have to send them. We have to send the components to many of our sites which are languishing, where the installation and commissioning is overdue. We need your supplies. We need your help. But if we paid your dues with the capital we have raised, we'll have no money to do anything else. And we'll have to close down. You will get your money, but you'll lose a customer and you'll lose business in the future. We could give you tons of business tomorrow if only you cooperate with us. So what we will do is, with each order that you supply, we will pay in full plus 5 or 10%, depending upon your overdue of your earlier dues. I assure you, we will soon be back in business in full swing, and your dues will be positively settled in the next 6 to 8 months. The choice is yours. If you don't help us, I'll have to look elsewhere, but I'm not giving you all the money. I was aghast at his daring. But believe me, it worked. To the last person, the vendors bought into his scheme. We got the supplies, completed the work, delighted the customers, got fresh orders, and the financial revival of the company had started. One more lesson I learned in this example of how to motivate was, you should look at the long term as well as the short term when you persuade people to do what you want them to do. She could draw for the vendors a picture of the long term, where they would not only have all their dues settled, but have fresh business. It was better than getting paid off and with no further sales. Peter Drucker, the eminent management guru of yesteryears, bemoaned this obsession of American business with short term. He called it the quarter mania. He repeatedly warned corporates in 1998 that if they did not think beyond their nose, they were bound to be ruined one day. This foresight was commendable. A series of financial and accounting scandals rocked US business from 2000 till even now, and still continue to shake up many an investor's faith. All these were and are not so much because of the greed, mind you, but more because of the penchant of people to look at quick fixes to problems rather than long-term lasting solutions. And these quick fixes endanger the very existence of the business after some time. Getting back to my turnaround experience, another illustration of the method of motivation deployed by my managing director that paid rich dividends is one thing I would like to share with you. Here again, he demonstrated very clearly how the carrot and the stick should be used based on what you're doing and not based on your strength or weakness. Cash collection at the branches was a serious issue for us. He used to say, when you turn around a company, two things are very important, the cash and the gate. So many a branch manager was motivated only to collect just enough cash to pay the branch expenses and salaries. Nothing more than that. The question was how to energize them to collect all the customer dues. The solution was variable pay based on achievement of collection targets. This was the carrot approach. The branch managers had excellent equations with customers, and in the elevator business, equation with customers is very, very crucial. Because if this guy goes to the competitor, you have lost your customer. And it seemed to me, therefore, that the carrot would be a good idea. Again, the MD demurred. He used the stick, and a brutal stick. What he did was, he opened one more account in each branch, into which all the collections were to be deposited. The collections could not go into the other account, which would be funded only by the head office, by me, to pay the branch expenses. That's it. Of course, he made sure that the salaries were not part of this, because he said the employees should not suffer, their families should not suffer because of his problem, branch manager's inefficiency. He sharpened the stick with one more ploy. He and I would set monthly targets every month for collection, broken down week-wise. And if the first week's target was not achieved, or the second week's was not achieved, etc., I was barred from sending the branch expense remittance. Simple as that. The branch manager had to either collect or to get special approval from MD if he could not collect. As simple as that. The third example here of this gentleman, where he would have used, normally anybody else would have used the stick, but he used the carrot, was when it came to motivating the workers. The workers were more or less hopeless that the company would turn around. They had already given up hope of survival. With them, he used the theory Y, the positive motivation, the carrot. How he did this was also interesting. He got all the functional managers, including me, to get onto the shop floor and solve problems faced by the worker teams in delivering components on time. Instead of fixing targets and shouting at them and denying them the salaries or asking them to quit. It would have been possible for him because he was in the position of strength, but he did not use that. The result was the teams were very happy that instead of getting negative marking for delayed supplies, they were getting help to make sure that they were on time and were able to earn their production bonuses. I had made 2 points so far on how to motivate and told them to you as if they are inviolable truths. Let me make one more. Honesty and transparency are essential to successful motivation. This is another thing that I've learned very bitterly in my life. Earlier, we talked about how the purpose for which you're motivating should be good. The same rule applies to the method we use for motivating. There should be no lying, no misleading in convincing someone to do your bidding, even if it's a child you're talking to. We have ourselves been parties to hearing in our childhood and later on saying it in our parenthood, some fix to get our children to eat or to study, etc. Is this bad? Unfortunately, it is, because we are opening up a child's brain and imagination to get things done by cheating. It is bad also because it is very tempting, as it yields immediate results and could become a habit. We can, of course, use it with humor and use it sparingly, but it's far healthier to be truthful and still get the person motivated to do the job. Now we come to the subject of self-motivation. For doing things we like or love, we don't need actually to be motivated, externally or internally. It simply happens. When I love doing something, I'll do it regardless of whether somebody tells me to do it or not. The problem is, in life, we can't always be doing things which we like. It's a sad part of life. We need to find motivation for doing certain things which we habitually avoid. This is where self-motivation becomes necessary. Some good examples are regular exercising, or quitting a bad habit like smoking, or strict adherence to rules like traffic regulations, or obeying doctor's orders, or the extreme case, sustaining ourselves in the face of a major loss when we think it's the end of the road and wonder if a suicide would be the better solution. Situations calling for self-motivation can therefore be relatively minor or even life-threatening. When it comes to self-motivation, the overhanging puzzle has always been, for me, can passion, curiosity, creativity, or innovativeness be infused in somebody? Or has it to be done by ourselves? Has it to be done solo? The answer that I have found for this puzzle is that it's an individual effort, but You have to keep all your senses alert all the time for picking outside influences and working on them. So it's a little bit of both, really. The example of my friend in Bangalore I was telling you about earlier, this is a good one to illustrate this. This friend of mine found the rhythm of life from my innocuous actions, my day-to-day happenings, my casual chats. He didn't need a counselor. Whether it's a positive thing that requires your self-motivation or a negative thing like stopping a bad habit, don't put the shutters up and close yourself to the outside world. Do the opposite, and you will find the motivation. This is what I found in life. Sometimes you can't motivate yourself to do a thing even when you try very hard. You know, I'm sure you'll have several examples of this type. When this happens, ask yourself one important question. How crucial is this for me? Be brutally honest in answering this. For example, take morning walks. It's the easiest thing to skip saying, yeah, I feel perfectly fine. So what if I don't walk? Here is where you are taking the easy way out and fooling yourself. So be very brutal and realize that there is something that you need to do, but somehow you're not able to motivate yourself. When this happens, once you realize it is crucial, do a 3-step biological check. 1, am I sleeping right? 2, am I eating right? 3, am I exercising enough? If any of these is a no, set it right. Believe me, you would have solved the problem 9 times out of 10. The motivation will automatically come to you. I've seen this in my life several times. Self-motivation is closely linked, therefore, to our priorities. In my BCom days, for example, I prioritized mathematics and accounts to the exclusion of many other subjects like economics, etc., which for me were dull, and was not as focused on any of the other subjects. This was a big mistake. It would have cost me very dear if not for a great motivator named Mr. Palekar, sir. His set of books and his epic library collection and his classes. So setting priorities right is fundamental, even if it means moving out of your comfort zone. In this case, for example, BO was always treated as a dull subject. But for me, it was an exciting subject. Many of my classmates used to joke that if Kumar meets Palekar sir outside in the corridor, he would not recognize him. Because the moment he comes in and starts talking, he starts writing down, put his head down. So he has never seen him in his life. So that's the kind of motivation he created in me to make sure that my priorities were proper. Finally, the how of self-motivation. When you self-motivate, do you use the carrot or do you use the stick? Foreigners, especially Americans, have made a big fad out of insisting that we should celebrate minor successes and keep patting ourselves on the back all the time. Somehow, my Indianness does not accept this approach. I say Indianness because across a cross-section of our different states, different religions, languages, cultures, we Indians believe in doing, in karma. We believe very firmly that what we do is what we are. This is an authentic belief in me, especially, and I think many of us. When it comes to doing what we are expected to do, therefore, we simply have to do it. We should not be expecting congratulations or awards and pats on the back, etc. It's a bit harsh, but this is beautiful. So I hope I have given you something to think about, and I hope I have not been too boring. And I must again thank the organization for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And I want to personally thank Mohan, because but for the fact that he passed on the baton to me, I would not be sitting here. He would have been giving this wonderful lecture to you. So thank you, Mohan. And thank you, Rishaji, for all the help. And Shobnaji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. It was really straight from the heart, and I'm sure the audience will agree with me that it is going to benefit each one of us. You shared so many examples from your life, and it was really inspiring. You also spoke about various values and principles which one needs to follow. So thank you so much for that. As sir mentioned, I think each one of us has the potential to become a motivating factor or guiding force for ourselves or for those who come in contact with us. This talk of yours will definitely help us to know and understand how to unleash our potential. So thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful expression of your thoughts.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Shobna ma'am?
Now we can think of opening up to the platform so
Yes,
that anyone who wants to share, and we may request one of sir's daughter to, if she wants to speak or something like that.
yes, ma'am.
We have got many. Sudhir Kanchan sir is there, and anyone who wants to speak about few, we can extend the time by another 10-15 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir Kumar sir, we are very happy that our chairman could address, and you could meet our chairman also virtually.
Yes, I'm really honored.
Yeah,
Really honored, ma'am. Yeah,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
so wonderful hearing him and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
getting his opinions on how
Yeah,
the society is going a little, getting
yeah,
degraded
and
and
how
how we
the
can
college
stop.
is committed towards it. So all we
Yes,
want to know is we have to continue the legacy, and we look forward for kind of guidance from you people.
thank you. And that will always be there, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. We have got our vice principals here, and they can also, if they want to share their views, yeah. Or any one of the alumni who wants to speak something, we can unmute them. Kamat madam, तुम्ही काय बोलना इच्छा होते का?
सांगा कसा वाटला?
So, good evening, sir. This
Good evening,
is
ma'am.
Mrs. Kavita Jaju from Podar, and sir, your opening remark about sir inspiring you. I think as teachers, it's given us so much insight to him as a person and an influencer. You hear of all these social influencers on YouTube and things like that, and you can clearly see the long lasting impact of what sir had on you without any YouTube influencer, without repeating things. And sir, I think your talk was wonderful. It was truly inspiring, and all the teachers who are present in the group, so they'll surely connected with what you said about passion and motivating our students, because that is what we want them actually. Teaching, learning, all that is eventually going to happen, but inspiring them and to be what they should be, good citizens. I think that was really wonderful, and very simply, sir, you told us. And what I like, sir, I must admit here, I am a student of OB and a teacher of OB. So everything that you said, I could connect, and I was hoping that my students would also listen to
ऐसा
you
आपका एक
about
लेक्चर
the
हो गया
theories.
कविता मैडम, है
Yes,
ना?
मेरा एक lecture हो गया.
आपका एक
Very
मॉड्यूल
nice.
करा दिया मैं सर ने,
करा
बराबर.
दिया, करा दिया. Thank you
Kavit,
so much, sir.
Kavita ji, I must tell you one small little snippet here.
Yes, sir.
In the second term of the first year, we have OB1.
Right,
And
sir.
Baldev Sharma was the professor who taught us that.
Okay.
He called me before the final exam. He said, Kumar, I would have made sure that you got a D and went out of the university because of your lousy OB knowledge. But for the fact that your English is so good, unfortunately, I had to.
But sir, I think he was wrong.
क्या बोलते हैं ना,
Your
बाल बाल
analysis, नहीं, आपका analysis of all the theory and applications were too good. As ma'am says, मेरा एक lecture हो गया. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vishali ma'am. Thank you.
Lovely
Ma'am.
words.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kamat ma'am is there. Archana Kamat ma'am is there.
And are you unmuting everybody,
Yes.
Shali madam? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I have unmuted few of the people. Archana
Yeah.
Kamat madam, I have already unmuted. Ma'am, can you hear us? Will you like to share something with us? I hope she isn't facing any problem. Ramakrishnan sir has raised his hand. Sir, I have already unmuted you. You can speak.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Ramanujam sir and
Good e-
Fadke sir, I think.
Yes, yes, I have unmuted them also.
yeah, good evening. It was pretty inspiring. And thank you, Mr. Kumar, for a wonderful trigger.
Thank you, Ramakrishnan
In
sir.
fact, as you were speaking, I distinguish in my mind between motivation, which is an external factor being involved, a motive, and inspiration, which comes from the spring of passion from within. Okay, so when there is inspiration and then people get to see the demonstration of passion, they automatically get inspired and motivated both. You see.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yes, your example of Mr. Palekar telling you about the availability of books and his vision of wanting the student from Podar College to be number one in the next year triggered the inspiration within you, and it didn't require any motivation from outside.
Yes.
And finally, the closing remark that you made about Indianness, it's wonderful because
Thank you.
I always say that I don't require any acknowledgement from anybody other than myself. Okay, I would like to surprise myself. And when that is the attitude, well, it's one should be really having a great karma to come from wanting to surprise oneself. That was something which I wanted to share.
Bilkul, sir. In fact, I
Very
always
nicely
say,
said, sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
I always say a good job is its own reward.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your feedback, remarks. Mohan Vritha, sir, I have already unmuted you. You may.
And Satyen sir also raised their
Yes,
hand.
yes, ma'am. I have unmuted them. And even Fadke, sir.
No, I just wanted to thank Kumar for replacing him, for doing what he did, because
Thank
it
you.
had come on to me and he helped me to postpone it by a year. You see, great job, Kumar. But then, unfortunately, I logged in a little late. I
Okay.
didn't hear the first part of your speech,
Oh,
but it was very nice to hear you after so many years, face to
yes.
face.
Correct. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much, Kumar.
Thank you, Mon. Very nice of you to have given me the opportunity.
I knew that you would jump at it. You see.
Ekdam. I was telling Shobhana ji, there are two things I love: Principal Palekar and teaching and speaking. So when you get
And
both together,
when both came together, it was like a nice Diwali sweet ho gaya, sir. Aapka,
ekdam,
barabar hai?
ekdam.
Satyen sir, you can speak.
Satyen
I
sir,
think you are unmuted. Because Satyen sir bumped on me today. I was so delighted that when we are thinking of Palekar sir, Satyen sir gave a lot of information about him. Satyen sir?
Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was a great coincidence today. I was walking down the lane around Podar College, and I said, let me go into it and see. I passed the security and say, I want to see the principal. And I straight went into, when I came there, I remembered Principal Parekar's room, and it is still the same as it was. Several changes have taken place, but I remembered that his aura was there, and I met Shobna Madam and give a full account of my activities. I joined in '64 and passed out in the past become in '68. Excellent occasions of my several activities and endeavors in the college, which reminded me and really inspired me to again, to inspire others about what the college is. I liked Mr. Kumar's lecture
Thank you.
on motivation. And I would also say that motivation also requires a lot of commitment. And then I would, one thing which I would add is that in addition to motivation, which was one of there are several qualities of Principal Palekar ji, which inspire us and which can be enumerated. But one of the most important thing for an individual who is in the college is the role model.
Correct.
He was the role model for us. And many times, and it is not a role model about whom you read and about who is not in touch with you. You read about several lectures or books about that. He becomes a role model for you. But this role model is a virtual experience, We had a virtual experience of a role model for 4 years.
Exactly.
That is very unusual, and one must have that. And that's why when I came in, I became very emotional and touched, and I expressed this my sentiments to Shobna Madam. And I said, and incidentally, it was Professor Palekar's lecture today. So it was a great coincidence that I could come into the college after decades, and that
Wow.
opportunity to interact and be in the premises, enjoy the classes, enjoy the building, and enjoy the real structure, and feel what we are feeling at that time. So it is an enjoyable experience. I felt I should be student again.
That's very nice of you, sir. Thank you.
Again, but I also
Lovely.
expressed last time I was in touch with Podar was Professor Raja.
Sita, madam, you said, sir. Sita Ramanan, I see.
And another, our
Sahuraja, sir.
I was in touch with Sahuraja for some time. After that, I lost touch. But then I'm glad that I got into touch again. And that enabled me to again express my thoughts about Principal Palekar, who was a role model for us in many of the things. And what we achieved is he was really a role model in a sense that we wanted to be like him.
That's so nice of you, sir. Very nicely put in.
Yeah. So thank you, Kumarji. Thank you,
Thank you.
Shobanaji.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Satanji. Very nice. Thank you,
Con-
Satanji, for the nice words. Yeah.
conducting this lecture, and I would
Yes.
definitely join you in your seminars, lectures, and such events in future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Ma'am, shall we proceed?
Yeah, if anybody else, Padike sir wants to speak, and
Parke sir?
maybe we can have one or two, then we can go for
yes.
conclusion.
Parke sir, I have already unmuted you. Yeah.
And Sudhir Kanchan also, sir. Yeah.
Yes, I have already. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ex-professor Padke.
Yes.
I taught in the college after Sir Kumar sir and Satyen sir had left. In fact,
Okay.
I studied in Sydenham during those years only.
Okay.
I passed out BCom from Sydenham in 1969. Then I joined Podar as a teacher in 1980. I just heard so many good things about Professor Palekar, Principal Palekar, and undoubtedly he was a role model, as both of you rightly said. Now I just wanted to tell you about what we are doing today as Alumni Association. As Shobna Madam said, we have formed an Alumni Association where you might be aware of a few stalwarts of yesteryears from the college. Shashikant Vyas, Shashi Vyas, as he's known, you might be aware, and C.A. Jain Gokhale also. So they are also there as founders of our Alumni Association, and we would love to connect with you. So I'll take your contact credentials from Shobna Madam, and we'll invite you to join our Alumni Association, so that what we do is many times we organize sessions for guiding current students.
Okay.
Where such thoughts as you expressed today, sir, would be extremely valuable.
Thank you.
So,
We will do that, sir. I'll be delighted to join the association.
Yeah. So
whatever I can share with the students, it will be a pleasure, really.
yeah, we would like to do that. And thanks for your wonderful thoughts. I listened to the lecture, and I really appreciate all the great values you reiterated, because today what I believe is these values are the most important thing, which are getting replaced by uh, only value in the form of currency notes, possibly. Okay.
Correct.
So
So well said, Sudhirji. Yeah, I know.
thanks.
Needs to be-
Thanks.
Thank you,
once
thank
again.
you, Fadkar sir. And I will share it with you. I've
Yeah.
already spoken about our RAPA, and we'll do that through our RAPA association also.
Yes.
We
Thank
shall
you.
do that, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sudhir Kanchan sir has raised his hand. Sir,
Yeah.
we can unmute, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Vishali madam, we can.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I
Sudhir
will not
Kanchan
take
sir is in Bangalore, and he has
Yeah.
got a group of friends. He has been connecting with Podar College for quite some time. Last King, what is sir? Five Garden Friends. That is what Sudhir Kanchan sir is. Sir, go on, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. I am from 71, 75 batch to start the company. But when you talk about Principal Palekar, you can think of a really father figure who would at least who would guide us and who will talk so less, but he will igniting curiosity is something which we have to get it. By talking so less, he could make us do so many things. And see, we come from a middle class background, and to motivate us to get into so many activities as soon as we come out of our school is something different, because at that time it was 11 plus 4, and this has changed our approach to to fellow people, the teachers and everything. And Principal Palekar and late Professor Bhatt, they were the people who really shaped our career, and more than that, our life, our approach, our attitude towards life, and we'll remain always grateful to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhirji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sudhir sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, each one of you who have, come in and spoken about, sir. It was really nice. Thank you so much. Now, may I request our Vice Principal and Controller of Examination, Dr. Vinita Pimpe ma'am, to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Vishali ma'am. It's a great honor and a privilege to propose the vote of thanks to this memorial lecture. On behalf of SP Mandali, R.A. Podar College of Commerce and Economics, Autonomous, I extend heartfelt gratitude to all the attendees for their valuable presence at the third lecture of late Principal G.P. Palekar Memorial Annual Lecture Series. The college extends sincere appreciation to our esteemed speaker, Shri V.S. Kumar, for accepting our invitation first and for enlightening us about the topic recognizing passion and igniting curiosity, the role of teachers, which was undoubtedly enrich our educational ethos. Your lecture was so apt to our tagline, nurturing intellect and creating personalities. That's what Podar is. We have a few stars here today who have become good personalities. I would like to thank all of them for coming here today. Next, I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Shobna Vasudevan, our leader, our motivator. She is the one who has always inspired us to work towards the vision of our college. We are always thankful to her for her huge support at all times and for all events which take place in college. I should be thanking the significant contributors in the form of guests who are here present today to uphold the legacy of late Principal G.P. Palekar.
And our chairman. Our chairman.
Yes. I'll come to him in the next lines now. Okay. So, without the continuous support and guidance of our management and our chairman, Mr. Jain, Advocate Jain, sir, without his support, this particular events could not be happening. The college will always remain dedicated to nurturing intellect, curiosity, passion with education. Last but not the least, I would thank the organizing team, the admin staff, our teachers, and our attendees for making this event happen so beautifully. I also cannot overlook the effort put in by our students who have worked the last week with their exams going on and helped us with this memorial annual lecture which was there. I wish everyone success and good health. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rishali.
Thank you. Now, may I request everyone to stand for the national anthem?
And Vishali, have you taken the photograph or something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Dhananjay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for being part of this beautiful and intellectually
Thank you very much, sir.
evening.
Thank each one of you, and from the bottom of the heart.
Thank
and it was
Thank
very
you.
nice, and I have no words to express